So first of all, as Pat says, Paul Morrin, Assistant Director General of CSO, context, why, what can be achieved, that kind of stuff in terms of joint up data.
Thanks a lot, George. Well, we'll start with a quote from the United Nations, who are very much the kings of the statistical world, and data are the lifeblood of decision making and the raw material for accountability. And I think that's a good guide for our work in the public service. But today, the title of the seminar is Data as a Public Policy Issue. Really, the NDI strategy came from work in Denmark. It started in 1968. And while there are different cultural norms for ourselves in relation to data sharing, I suppose there's some advantages for being a late adopter as well. I think everything that's changed in technology and the way that people engage with data ever since. Well, really, the CSO journey started with the Statistical Potential of Administrative Records project back in 2003. Reality, it's been going on a wee bit longer than that. And CSO statisticians have been seconded out to departments for over 20 years. The NSB has had policy statements and publications, including joined up government needs, joined up data. But really, that strategy is now crystallised in the Strategy for Statistics 2015 to 2020. The strategy is very much clear, and now is time for implementation. Actually, the Danish case is very much driven by research, so it's great to have Ross here as well to give the researcher's point of view on how data can be used. Just a quick overview of the slides. We've got some good practice examples from around the public service on what joined up data can deliver. We've got some information on the new resources in CSO to support analysis across the public sector, some ideas on how we can work together in the future, and also some ideas on how we can make progress through the various issues that are there at the moment. Andrew's going to take you through building the NDI, and the overall aim of the service is to turn data and statistics into insight for decision makers, which is a pretty high aim. The first good practice example is from the Department of Education and Science, and it's really in the policy monitoring space. So the department's seconded statisticians were tasked with developing a set of performance indicators for secondary education. And they decided to do this through linked data rather than through initial data collection in schools. So, I mean, the secondary pupils database is really the core data set for this, and the department was very foresighted. They collected the PPSN in this database from day one, which facilitates organizing linking afterwards. But the department statisticians didn't have access to the outcomes data they needed to produce the reports, so they came to the CSO Administrative Data Centre, which is a protected environment. So any PPSNs are stripped out, replaced with protected IDs, and then data protection squares respectively there. So then they could link to employment outcomes from the P35s, to benefit outcomes from DSP records there on the left, and then on the other side you've got education outcomes. So you've got information, qualifications, and participation in education. But they also link to a couple of education programs that didn't have the PPSN, and that was immensely difficult. But then you can see the results at the bottom. They have their system of indicators for secondary schools. They have them at very low cost. They have 100% response rates, no additional burden on students, parents, teachers, and really it's an excellent use case for PPSN. The next one is more of an in-house one. It's the new residential property price index methodology, and the key data source for this was e-stamping data from the revenue commissioners, which follows property transactions. But the statisticians decided that they needed a little bit more information on housing location characteristics. So the first step was to link on the left to the geodirectory for the data in the e-stamping database. And from there they got air codes, and that facilitated all kinds of work then. So they took information on house characteristics from the building energy ratings data, and they also took information on small area poverty statistics from the census population. And this gave them the price model on the right-hand side, which basically fully takes account of the quality of houses sold in each month to produce a pure price measure. But I suppose what the users really appreciated is that they've got average house prices in immense level of detail. And the CSO made an air code root and key analysis available on the website quite recently, which went down well. From the CSO's point of view, there's only one version of the truth out there now. This is the National Price Index, and that's what's reflected in domestic economy. But really, just to emphasise, the air code facilitated all that, and that's going to be a bit of a recurring theme today. The next piece of analysis, something we're going to do next year, obviously housing policy is top of the list at the minute. And I know we published ourselves statistics on vacant houses during the year. And there's a bit of a discussion about mismatches between demand and supply. So we need to dig in a bit deeper. So basically the proposal here is that we're going to match census dwellings data, which has the air code, to the local property tax database, and also to the subset of tenants who are registered with the PRTB, Private Residential Tenancy Board. And the idea here for ourselves is that we can hopefully replicate the census housing results from these sources, reduce the burden on people in the next census. But also, in addition to those sources, we've got additional data in the census this year from enumerators, record books, and the reasons why properties are vacant. So you can see this all coming together and being a very powerful potential database on vacant houses. Again, the air code is crucial to this, and we're going to have to manually match any properties we can't automatically match the admin data, and we can only really do that at census time when we've temporary clerical officers to do the work. The next slide is new resources in CSO. I mean, myself and Andrew are here with the first manifestation of it, but my role is I'm the point of contact for statistics and analysis in the public service for CSO. And I mean, part of that function is that I have this dotted line responsibility out the side for seconded statistician teams. Now, the name of that service is yet to be developed, and the exact relationship along that line, the MOU, has to be worked up as well, but that'll happen in the next few weeks. I suppose I mean, there's also my own in-house resources in there as well. I'm not going to talk too much about the statistical audit part of it, because that's something we're going to work up in the next year or so on a pilot basis with some departments and agencies. But on the left is where I'd like to concentrate. I mean, there's two functions there. The names are a work in progress, but basically what these people are going to be doing is work on pathfinder projects, which are going to be identified in conjunction with policymakers, and they're going to be policy needs. Now, we're going to operate within the CSO's mandate at all times, but we think there's an awful lot we can do by statistical reporting that will help to progress policy data needs. I suppose the other part about it is that this type of work is going to be continuous proof of concepts for the NDI and the data linking. And Andrew will come to that later on as well. The next slide is an idea, some ideas on how we can work together. I mean, departmental data is at the bottom of the progression, but that's really essential to everything we're going to do. It's crucial. The next step up is data integration, and CSO are already leaders in this area through John Dunn and the Administrative Data Centre. John's people said down at the back there. The next step up is where we're really proposing to get involved with yourselves, which is in the analysis and insight piece. And as I said, we'll stay within our mandate, but there's an awful lot we can do. We've good data access, we've good analytical skills, and we work with yourselves to produce bespoke analysis. And we'll work with your staff in whatever way you want us to work. We'll work with IGES, economists, we're very keen on that because we've very complementary skills. We work with the academic sector, basically whoever you want us to partner with. But I mean, the thing, I'd hate you to go away thinking now CSO is just going to do everything. That's not the case. Because we're hearing about lots of departmental data gaps which are leading to insight gaps, and basically because we can't join our data with. So on that note, here's some ideas on how we can make progress. I mean, just to reiterate, data protection is absolutely essential to what we do in CSO. The trust of our respondents is the basis for our existence, so that's essential. But then the next step is a bit more practical. I mean, I think if the NDI is just seen as a technology project, then we're going to miss out on small steps to deliver, database steps. And the next one is a key one. The air code is something that we think, if departments collected in their transaction level data with clients, we think it can make progress on a couple of fronts. And we've seen the geographical analysis it can facilitate from the RKPI, but also as it's letterbox based, it will help us to build up household level data from individual level data. The next bullet about hiring statisticians, we've been operating in a relatively tight labour market compared to the rest of the labour market. But really now we're seeing people coming forward who are interested in the work in CSO and in the public service. So I think we should strike while the iron's hot and hire these people on this thing. And we believe that the structure is now in place to support all this analysis as well, both from within CSO and also in the supports that we're going to give to the external statistician teams. Our objective is that we operate in an environment that is consistent with data protection legislation, while at the same time respects the right for citizens to live in an informed society. Our work needs to be legal, proportionate and necessary. However, we're of the view that all of us collectively can put rules, protocols and procedures in place to make the NSB's vision